The myth is the more likes you have, the happier you'll be. That's absolutely not true. It's actually quite similar to the myth that the more successful you are, the happier you'll be. And in fact, we know that that's not true. In fact, we know that some of the most successful people in the world, whether it's athletes, whether it's rock stars, whether it's multi-billionaires, they're among the most depressed people in the world. Why do we see such high suicide rates and alcoholism and drugs among so many of the most successful people? You know, the people who are admired by millions of people. Why are so many of them depressed? Because they believe that when they become popular, when they become superstars, when they become rich, when they become successful, then they'll be happy. And they did all that, and they're still not happy. And now they're disillusioned. Now they're upset and they no longer have hope, right? That when they become successful, because they're already successful. And it's the same with coolness. We kid ourselves, and our children have to understand this. We kid ourselves with the belief that when I have 1,000 likes, or when I have 5,000 followers, or when I have, the whole class, voting for me as class president, or whatever the measure of coolness is today, we kid ourselves. We create an illusion for ourselves that we'll be happy then. It has nothing to do with happiness. And then we need to educate, okay, so this doesn't lead to happiness. What does? And children need to know what does. Here is what does. Having a close, intimate friend, or close, intimate group of friends, that leads to happiness. Being physically active, as opposed to being in front of that screen all day on social media, that leads to happiness. Being grateful and savoring what you have, rather than primarily focusing on what you don't have, that leads to happiness. In other words, what we need is to counter that PowerPoint, which again, she's not a bad girl. She's a product of society. She's a product of what she sees on YouTube and what she sees on TV and what she hears from so many people around her, adults and children. She's a product of that. And we need to educate. And this is why our work is so important, because that's what we're doing. We're educating about the real things that contribute to happiness. Find a sense of meaning and purpose. Contribute to other people, help, give, be generous and kind. There's a new person who came to class. Spend time with her. Talk to her, listen to her. Tell her, I see you. This is what will contribute to her happiness. This is also what will contribute to my happiness. Because when I give, I receive. So, in other words, it's countering all the illusions, the myths around happiness, because ultimately they want to be cool because they think being cool or being admired or being popular is what will make them happy. Yeah, it will give them a nice high when they get that extra 100 likes. That's it, nothing more than that. And in the long term, it's certainly not sustainable.